Okay, I hope. Where's the camera? I can be heard on this Tuesday night, March the 3rd, year 2025. And I haven't been on this channel in quite some time. Life is called life. Now that I have the time, I decided before I turn in to come on and talk a little bit. I don't know if it's private or if I did uh, um, live or how I set it up. So I'm just going to get to talking and say what I need to say and end this live. Down to within the last 6 months, I would say, or so, things needed to be taken care of, like my appointments, doctor's appointment, going to take care of my expiration dates on my identity, my license, and other stuff that I needed to take care of. But I notice, not always, but sometime, I notice when I'm taking care of business with my doctor's appointment and other things every once in a while, and when I notice these things, I see what's going on. Subliminals, I don't like talking between get talking codes. A couple of times, my appointments, I went to the doctor to get my vision examined. And as I'm getting my eyes checked, and the doctor looking through the machines or whatever, and making these comments, and I'm saying to myself, why is she sounding such as if this is not a serious matter to me? And she's saying, like in a playful way. It didn't sit well with me. That was my first time going to this ophthalmologist, eye doctor. And so I said nothing about it. That's okay. I, whenever I'm going to the doctor, I'm going to make sure that I'm in good health or whatever uh, need to be talked to me about. I take everything serious when it comes to going to the doctor. I don't got time for jokes because you are the professional one. You supposed to be serious. There's a place and a time when it's time to joke, and that wasn't the time. I was having issue with my vision. I was having problems, and so after the appointment, I thought about it, and I said to myself, I didn't like how this visit went. It wasn't taken serious, and my vision, it seemed that if you don't say nothing, they'll do it. They will do it. They'll take you not serious. And I mentioned it. I said it to, I can't remember who it was. And I said, well, I didn't like the visit. I didn't at all. So I talked with whoever, then I left it alone. And I guess about maybe a week later, I noticed I had my insurance supposed to cover everything. I noticed there was a cost. I was charged, and I'm trying to figure out what was done And no one really said to me, a lot of these doctors, the people don't tell you if you're going to be charged. But I questioned, I called the billing department and I spoke with a certain individual. They tried to talk over me and saying your insurance doesn't cover certain things. And I said, well, if my insurance didn't cover, no one gave me an option or explained to me that, which a lot of places in the doctors, sometimes people just don't speak up. I'm one that does, because I like to know what I'm being and not being charged for with economy and everything going on and how stuff is going. I talked to billing, and they still trying to overtalk me and saying, well, your insurance doesn't cover whatever it was you're trying to explain to me. I said, well, I wasn't given an option. Had I known that my insurance did not cover this, I would have said, well, uh, I don't, which it was something extra that they put on there. So I went to my portal and sent a message to the doctor or the department or whoever, and explaining that I was not given an option. Nobody sit down to me and talk to me about what was covered, not covered, and I just can't afford this bill that I'm being billed for, and someone should explain to me. But anyway, it was a back and forth situation for about a week. You have to go through leaving messages, and within 2 business days, someone get back with you and talk with you about it. So that happened for about, I wouldn't say it was 2 weeks, it was less than 2 weeks. And I spoke with authority. I spoke with letting them know that with times, how times are, I just can't afford this. So where the lady was like, well, you speak with, yes, I did speak with Bill, and Bill said to me that my insurance doesn't cover it. Now I'm talking to you all. No one in your, in no one sit me down and talk to me about it. But anyway, I said, well, I just can't pay it. I don't have the money. I'm on a fixed income. I have a lot of other issues going on that I have to take care of. But anyway, we went back and forth. My last um, interaction with the eye doctor department, whoever I spoke to, well, they talked to me and said, well, billing tried to, this was the latest, billing tried to let me know that it wouldn't be covered or whatever. But what we did was we sent straight to your insurance, and let the insurance deal with it or whatever. I said, that's what I've been trying to say. No one said that. I said, well, you have all of my insurance, my different insurances. They said yes, and uh, they saying one will cover it, the other one won't. How do you know it won't cover it? Did you send it to them? They didn't send it to them. I don't know, but that's what it seemed like they were saying, that they weren't doing their job. And I said, well, maybe you should send the bill to both insurances to see if one, when one doesn't cover, the other one pick up. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So back and forth over the sending messages uh, to the department and talking to Bill. And I said, well, this is all I can say. I can't pay that. No one gave me an option to opt out of it. So I guess y'all can handle it. I just can't pay it right now. So they were trying to get me stuck with the bill. In the last message I talked with this woman, said, well, we send it over to your insurance, and we'll see if they're going to cover it. And I'm saying that to say this. I went back online and went to the billing department where the bill, you whatever you're going to the doctor for. See, was it the insurance covered it? Sure enough, I saw it zero balance. After I went back and forth with them for about almost a week, a little over a week, it had a cost on there when I went in there. But when after this conversation, bantering back and forth, I went on there to see what's in there in the changes. There was a zero balance on there. So you have to really speak up, because if you don't uh, advocate for yourself, no one will. If you give up, you will be forgotten and you will be taken advantage of. So that, I've been that way since long as I can remember. And sometimes you get tired. Sometimes you want to give up. But the key word is don't give up, because if you give up, it's not at your best interest. It's just you have to keep fighting the fight. That's why I had to come on here and talk about my journey. And I noticed in the professional world, when me myself, I can't speak for no one else. Um, it's a little extra when it comes to taking care of business with whatever you're trying to do. By me being who I am, trans woman, when my doctor's appointments and everything, they already know that. But it seems to me that I'm amazing to them. Sometime when I go in my journey out in the world and take care of business, sometime, and I notice that they talk amongst each other sometime, and I let them know that, and I don't give them any more. I let them know that I don't need to give them any more than what they need, going into my background, and wanting to know how I live my life, and I pick up stuff, and I let them know that I'm a like I said, I'm an advocate verbally, and I uh, observe things when it comes to me. So when I notice these things, and I said, well, I don't know if any other women like myself go through stuff like that. I had a girlfriend many years ago, and there was a comment made that when she goes out and take care of her business, it's all this extra. And you have to speak up. I don't care what you going through or what you faces in life. You have to be your own advocate, because no one can advocate and speak for you like you speak for yourself. The times make it hard sometimes, but you cannot give up. The word is like what's his name? He's gone now. Tupac. You may feel like the world is against you. A lot of time it is what it is. I'm not hallucinating. My mind ain't playing tricks on me or anything like that. And someone mentioned to me that you may be going taking it too serious. Well, no, I'm not taking it serious. I've been around a very long time, and I know when something is what it is and ain't what it ain't when it comes to me out in the world. I don't usually I blend in. And usually I can go out and do my little grocery shopping, go other places, do what I need to do. But when it comes to interacting firsthand, that's when things kind of shift. When you have to deal with someone firsthand, whether it's housing. I'm going through a situation right now with housing, and I'm going to share this. I think it was in July of last year, 24. I went out looking for housing, and I had to put in applications. And one particular place, I'm gonna be nameless. It's a case going on right now. I went to put in the application, and I wanted to make sure that I filled out the application correctly, because if you don't, you got to they'll bring it to your attention that you made a mistake, and I didn't want to do that. So kindly, I went to the front desk, and the lady came in up to the desk, and I asked the question. What the one that I was asking is very familiar. I wanted to make sure. She copped this nasty attitude and saying, "I don't." Some in so many words, "I don't know you, and I can't tell you what to put." I'm not asking you to tell me what to put. I'm asking you, what does it mean? Because the two different slots, it looks very familiar when it came to my finances and my what type of income. So it blew up from there. It got to a point where the supervisor, the head in charge, whoever she was, she had to break in and try to calm the situation down. And this was an older lady, this younger lady. She was the one that was had this, and I gave it right back to her. It was a banter back and forth. I gave it right what she was giving, the same energy she was giving me. I was giving it right back to her. So I said, okay, this is a nice building, fixed income. That's why I went. And then she started throwing all this extra, saying to me, here's what you need, these documents you need to return or you need to show. And I had all the documents, and I said, okay, I know where this is going. I've never in my life, the times that I went out looking for housing, I was not ever asked for a birth certificate. And I mentioned to her, I said, I've never, and I asked her the question, I said, I've never been asked my birth certificate when I have documents to prove that I am in a citizen of this country. I asked her, I said, why do you ask for a birth certificate? Which I knew where she was going with it. And her reply was to show and have proof that you are an American citizen. I said, okay, I know where this is going. And I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to do it the right way. And you all, this is not the last that you all will hear from me. I said that to say this. It was a situation where, since this banter back and forth with this woman and myself, she comes to it. It was brought to attention that she's a trans woman. Now I'm going to make it harder for her to apply for housing, asking me for my birth certificate. And we know why she asking for the birth certificate. She wants to know biologically what my gender was. So I said, okay, I know where this is going. Okay, we had our banter back and forth. You have already peeped and picked it up, and now you know what the situation is. And I know I'm letting them know I know what the situation is as well. You ain't verbally have to. Sometimes you ain't got to speak on stuff verbally. Let people know where you stand. The actions will speak for themselves. So I said, okay, I'm gonna deal with this another way. So I got home and I thought about it. Who can I get in contact with and file papers and do all this stuff legally to to throw some papers on this building where I went to apply for housing. So it took about a week. I found out I had to go online and go to these different um, uh, what places that deal with stuff like this, and it was a challenge because I talked to so many different um, services and holding long conversations about what I went through, which was just another a battle. It was like repeating myself, saying the same thing. And I said, some of these places, they want to just know my business, they ain't really trying to help. They say they want to help. I found that out as well. So I was so upset. I said, this ain't over. I can't give up because these places need to know that they can't do that if they're dealing with whoever. Not just, well, I'm speaking on me right now because it was about me. So I said, okay, I found the right department to deal with. They talked with me over the phone. They sent me documents to fill out, which I did, and they sent them papers as well. And whatever they sent them, it got to do with court proceedings. It takes time when you're dealing with going through the system. So I talked with the lawyer who's working with my case, and he said he got in touch with them, sending papers to them, and he got to hear. But I don't know I don't really know too much how the process worked, but they do know that I did file papers on them, and it's still pending right now. It takes time, and they haven't gave me a specific date as to when would it be a court date. It has to take, it had to come up. I do know that that isn't, it is pending right now. And I notice when I'm sometime when I'm taking care of business, sometime, not always, but when I have interaction with certain professions, professional world, and doctors and housing and other stuff, it's a little extra. It's like they want to play, make it seem it is I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. I don't verbally hear it. I'm not seeing their reactions. I've been around a very long time, so I can pretty much, I'm a good judge of character. So I dealt with it. I'm dealing with it now. I don't know what the outcome going to be of it, but they do know that I know what happened because they got papers on them now. So we go, women like myself, people. I ain't just saying us, in life. Period. We go through things. Your situation may be different than mine. Just because we black, we go through situations. We're the minority. We're the minority, so I'm a 1%. So I'm down way at the bottom of the pole. Women like myself. So and then if you are clockable, I'm clockable. I can carry myself in a nice way. I'm clockable when I have interaction, but when I'm going through life doing what I need to do, it's less, you know, I don't get the eyebrow look, I don't get the judging because I'm not dealing with firsthand. I'm going to the grocery store, I'm going to on out in the world to shop or whatever to the what you call it, downtown, or taking care of stuff like that. I don't have to have firsthand interaction, so it's not picked up. I blend in most of the time. The only time when I have interactions firsthand, and that's when uh, these issues arise. And so I dealt with it, and I'm going to continue to fight for my right, be the spokesperson for myself. Who do it better than me? No one in this world, no one going to fight your battles better than you yourself. People may speak on it. They may say if what's right and what's wrong. You should do this. You should not do that. They want to give you advice, but you take your own advice, and life experience is your better advice. You don't have to have any degrees and things. The way I'm talking right now, I ain't got to have a degree of counseling to counsel someone, saying to them, "Don't give up. Fight your battles." Women and anybody else. I'm not just going to make it all about a trans woman, but Tell me who hasn't in their adult life or in their youth life, as a child, hadn't been through stuff where you were pointed out and you wasn't treated right. So we all have some type of judgment, been judged and been talked about, been ridiculed, and made us feel like we are nothing, don't exist, don't matter. My message to you is, baby, you got to fight. You got to not give up, and you got to. It ain't all about attacking one physically and doing bodily harm, because words are strong. What you say come, the things that come out of our mouths, uh, it can either harm you or it can be in your defense. Of course, I want to be physical a lot. I'm at my age. I can't be trying to fight everybody with a physical battle. I never been like that, but I got people off of me. I never was the type to start trouble, but a lot of times trouble came my direction just because I'm the innocent. Yes, I can say innocent because I'm innocent in a lot of these situations, in all the situations that I have been through. And, and when I lift my voice, I'm known as the angry, whatever they want to say. But I ain't being angry. I'm just letting you know that I know what you're doing, and you know that you're wrong in what you're doing, and I'm pointing it out. So I like to let people know. Oh yeah, you got to speak on it. You got to you wants to be do things outside the law. You can't do, because if you do things outside the law, it ain't gonna be good for yourself. It ain't gonna be good for you. So it may take a long time that you can get whatever in your favor, whatever you've been through. It may take some time, but taking matters in your own hand and you want to deal with it, take it to the streets, however they say it, that ain't the way to do it. That ain't the way to do it. I haven't been on this channel in quite some time, but I wanted to talk about some things that has happened within the last 6 months. We're in year 2025 now. There's a lot going on in the country. They want to cut things off the president. I'm hearing the people talking about man and woman is only two genders, man and woman. Now, I ain't gonna go into specific details, but I know how I feel about it, and many feel the same way I feel about this president. There's a lot going on with the immigrants. There's a lot going on with that. I don't want to get into all that, but I'm how many minutes into this video? 30 minutes into this video. I wanted to come on because I haven't been on this channel in quite some time and give an update. And in my closing, I want to say those that are going through something, went through something, you feel that no one cares, you feel like taking matters in your own hand, and you just want to give up. My message to you through life experience: nobody nobody knows what you've been through other than yourself, and you can stand up and fight for yourself better than anyone else. Now they can join in and help you, but you have to be an advocate for yourself. In life, you got to do a lot of things for yourself. You can't depend on others, because a lot of time others will let you down. Definitely, they will. So be an advocate for yourself. And I'm saying that to anyone that has whatever struggle in life you're going through. This ain't just about me and my struggles and what I'm going through, what I've been through. As long as you got breath in your body, you're going to go through things. And the only time you ain't going to go through nothing when it's all over. You know what I mean by that? So as long as you're on this side of the soil, if you're in a situation right now where you don't see no other way that life gonna turn, what they say, turn lemons into lemonade. If you don't think you could do that, honey, change your attitude. You can do it because you able bodied, you in your right mind, you know how to make and not make decisions. You know how to make decisions. You know how not to make decisions. What I mean by that, you don't let others make decisions for you. Don't make that decision. I'm not going to make that decision. I guess I better explain that. If I make that decision and it's the wrong decision, don't be afraid to make your own decision when you know that you can get past what you're going through. Sometimes this decisions ain't gonna be right, but if you making your own decision, whether it be right or wrong, and if it's for the right reason. When I say wrong, meaning you may have made a mistake or something, but if you fight your battles with clean hands, if you got unclean hands, baby, you're not going to win like that. Make sure you got all your uh, everything on the dotted line that's in your favor in the right way. Don't try to fight your battles with unclean hands. I think I done went a little bit too over of what I needed, but somebody needed to hear this. Someone needs to hear this. I don't know how many will hear this message. I got discouraged with voting and everything with the economy, and I go into the grocery stores. A carton of eggs is $10 and over. I think the lowest I saw with a carton of eggs was $6. There's a lot going on in the country. That's not what I'm here to talk about, but I can talk about it. But it's kind of late and I want to go to bed, and I'm going to leave this video up. And my message to you, whatever your struggles are, whatever you're going through, and what life has thrown you, don't give up. Face it, deal with it, and more likely it'll come in your favor if you got clean hands. Good night, and I'll try to be back next week. This camera just fell. I mean, this audio thing just speaker just fell down. I'll try to come and make a video at least, if not every week, every other week, to let y'all know what's going on. This is the reason I spoke. I started this channel to speak and talk about my journey through life. Not all bad. More videos to come. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you all have a good night.